Rock and roll, man. Hello and welcome to a special presentation dedicated to the subject of book marketing. And that is indeed a subject that many of us published authors struggle with on a daily basis. It can be hard selling your books online, and it can also be very difficult just to get yourself out there online through social media. I've got a list of 15 ways to sell a book online. Let us dive in. First of all, on a side note, this video is inspired by a post which came out on my very own Patreon this year, and this is the video version of it. So if you want more content based on book marketing, based on growing on social media, some fiction, the odd inspirational post, then head on over to my Patreon and you can read it, you can listen to it, and you can basically experience it first. But now, 15 ways to sell a book online. Let us dive in. The marketing of books is a huge opportunity when it comes to the online arena, from social media to blogging and even paid advertising. There is a lot an author can try to get that book into the hands of potential readers. Firstly, it's okay to not know everything about marketing when releasing a book. In fact, I consider releasing a book just one step towards selling it. Embracing the learning journey of marketing is part of the wider path to being an author in the online world. So follow me as I lay out 15 methods to sell a book online. Number 1. Share your book covers regularly across social media platforms. We're going to start off strong with a visual method, and most of these methods that follow are visual and a big step towards finding new readers and perhaps reminding your social media following that you are published is to share that book cover every so often. Once a day might be a bit repetitive for your followers, but if you are growing, there's no shame in sharing your cover art once a week or every few days to newer followers. Depending on how many platforms you're active on might dictate the frequency of how often you share them. You can cycle between platforms every other day, keeping it fresh, keeping it with a level of variety that kind of keeps your following interested. Seeing as I have several books published, I tend to change it up. Balance is key here, and finding your own is part of the journey. To keep things fresh in the visual sharing department, it might be a good idea to even create your own book banner, which adds just a little more visual value to your book cover. This banner I created using Pixlr, and using some license-free imagery along with the text works rather nicely. Number 2. Selfies sell books. Continuing with that visual theme and combining it with a physical copy of your work can be quite a powerful way to express your pride in being published, while also connecting with others. I tend to always share an obligatory selfie of my latest release, and this stemmed from my debut book release. After I'd shared my selfie, near enough all of my new readers did the same, which kind of created a funnel of new sales. Trust me when I say, selfies sell books. Number 3. Blog about your journey. Blogging is a wonderful opportunity to write, ramble, and speak without interruption on your very own patch of the internet. My Hall of Information blog is an account of my publishing and content creation journey. Without it, I would not have sold as many books as I have done. From my feelings or thoughts about a latest draft, all the way to the release, promotion, and everything else in between that goes into putting out a book. Blogging is a huge opportunity to share your writing persona regularly with the world, and the more content you put out, the more value it will have over time. Regular blogging is what has shaped my journey to finding a readership. So if you can think of content to create over time, it will help you grow. I will give you a side tip about blogging, and if you can think of posts that are evergreen in subject matter, so stuff that doesn't tend to go out of fashion quickly, much like this video, that will give you the best chance of finding readers and blog followers over time. My blog isn't just about my writing journey anymore. It's a place to share reviews, feelings, thoughts, processes, and just how the journey's going in other departments, because it's away from the social media platforms, which can be subject to trends, but my Hall of Information blog is a safe patch away from that for me. Number 4, step up your social media presence. Earning over 40,000 Twitter followers didn't happen overnight for me. It took several years, and it was a journey of ramping up my presence. Now, I sometimes tweet up to 8 or 10 times a day, and for it, I sell books regularly. Social media is a ready-made buffet of potential readers who could be your readers if you shout loud enough. All I did was step up my presence and continually worked on what was well received by others and what wasn't. My focus isn't always on book plugging, but just being conversational and welcoming on platforms. You'll be surprised how that drives interest towards your own books. Conversation will drive visibility towards your profile, and that can eventually lead to sales also. My Patreon is full of advice and coaching about how I grew on Twitter and includes methods to sell books. Number 5, support fellow creatives. A huge part of finding readers to buy from you online is to firstly earn their trust. My Twitter following grew because of the time I spent supporting others, and that includes fellow authors. In 2022, I reviewed 40 books, which were mainly indie or self-published. Not only was I really enjoying the reading, but I was helping others, and my growing social media following witnessed it. Trust takes time to earn, but it's worth more than any book sale to me, and it doesn't always have to be monetary. From a follow back, a like, or even just sharing someone else's work are all great ways to support others. Supporting others matters. Number 6, pay for some book advertising. Finding 1 or 2 readers online might be hard enough. But what about hundreds or thousands? That's where paid advertising comes in. And for me, I've advertised with a range of places over the years, from boosting a Facebook post to book promotion websites. For complete novices, yes, there are book promotion sites who will charge a fee to advertise your works via their normally large email subscriber lists. I've even managed to convince high-end advertising site BookBub to feature my books 4 times, which resulted in hundreds of paid sales and actual royalties. 3 of my books have crossed the 100 Amazon rating mark, probably because of the BookBub featured deals that I've managed to secure. They might be hard to get in with, but when you get them, they are so valuable. If you are serious about selling your work, then sometimes you have to spend serious money, but the right book advertising will serve an author and their book for a long time. Number 7, share a review. Most of us published folk will know how much of a struggle it is to find reviews for our works, but when you do get one, it can be an incredible feeling. Sharing that feeling across social media will provide a buzz, and it's infectious. And with a review, it's an endorsement of your work to potential readers. There is no shame in sharing a good review of your work, no matter how old it is. Number 8, make a simple book trailer. Even the most basic of film editing software can create an effective trailer for this book. This video was created using Clipchamp, and I've used the basic video software included with Windows Desktop in the past and created something that I was quite proud of. Combining some imagery and your cover work and even some atmospheric music will create a certain atmosphere that could capture the theme of your book, just enough to interest that potential reader. Number 9, narrate your work. Continuing with the video-based theme, and it may take some effort / a little bit of bravery, but recording a narration starring you is a great way to connect with potential readers while also bringing you closer than ever to them. I've recorded narrations of my guidebook and paranormal romance in the past, and you could find them on this very channel, and it has led to sales of both of those books. Some platforms will even allow you to go live, which is a great opportunity to promote yourself and your work. Sometimes just proving you are human will work towards finding readers. Number 10, share less book links on social media. Sharing links on social media can be a tricky one, and the subject of some debate, but from experience, I have a feeling that sharing external links on social media platforms affects visibility negatively. The platforms want users to stay on them, so their algorithms probably won't push them. Instead, try leaving your link in the reply of a post, or even in your bio. As long as potential readers can get to your works easily, they will find them. Number 11, start a mailing list. If you can convince one person to buy your work, then in theory you can convince 100. The same goes with a mailing list, which is an opportunity to reach others through their email in a perhaps more of a personal way than just a social media platform. Building up a list of contacts will take time, but there are plenty of free providers out there who will make it easy. My mailing list is incorporated with my blog, which has over 1,000 followers. This took many years to build up, but whenever I have a new release, I get sales from that list. Number 12, share your statistics. While being an author can feel lonely sometimes, a great way to bridge that gap is to share your results. Personally, I find comfort in knowing that there are other authors out there experiencing the same good or bad things as me, and it's also inspiring to see when an author does well. That's why I believe it's important to share your statistics sometimes. Authors who are doing well, or even those who aren't, will only really benefit from sharing. Someone will see your progress or your struggle and may decide to lend a hand. They might decide to put a positive reply. They may even help you in some other way. Building a conversational bridge with others on social media drives visibility and eventually sales. Sharing your progress or struggles can be that all-important spark you need to connect with others. Last year, I crossed $1,000 in book royalties for the first time. A key moment for me, and one I shared with hope it would inspire others. Number 13, run a price promotion. Every now and then I'll run a price promotion which will coincide with some paid advertising and some of the other methods listed above. Dropping prices for just a short time and communicating that with your following should drive some impulse-based interest to convince just a few readers to buy your work. Remember, occasion is key here, as you also want to sell your books at regular price. Number 14, share an excerpt. While book covers and banners are awesome, sometimes a reader wants to actually read something. So how about a screenshot of an excerpt, a few paragraphs of a scene, or even the introduction? That can fit into a screenshot-sized picture, and it makes it something different to share. Remember, variety is key when it comes to promoting a book. Because social media is plugged into, and so many people are scrolling, you never know what you could discover. It might be your next reader. Amazon allows potential readers to preview a certain amount of a book, but what about a powerful quote, or even a big moment later on? As long as it avoids certain spoilers, a powerful moment shared in the right context will do all the promotional work you'll ever need. Number 15, write and release more books. This is far easier said than done, and part of the journey is to build this up over time and enjoy it and learn from it. And I've put this at the end for a reason, and that's because writing and releasing more books is probably pinnacle to why I sell regularly, and also because it does take time. Over 6 or so years, I released 8 books. Some were in series and some were standalone. All of them work in tandem to sell because readers will always want more choice from an author, and if they have it, they will buy. Now my order of the following series is complete. All books in that series sell way better than they used to. Time and new releases are your friend, authors. Conclusion. Many of these ideas come from experience and also can be used in combination with each other. Of course, like I always say, this journey is yours and finding what works for you is part of it. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Rock and roll and writing, man.